we have a U.S. senator, I should say, rooting for the enemy of the country he's supposed to represent. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Chris Murphy, fresh off of his tour of trashing America in Spain. He decided, obviously, to celebrate straight up Iranian propaganda that 26 Iranian shadow fleet vessels had bypassed our blockade somehow. To that, the U.S. Senator, my senator from Connecticut says, awesome. I'm sorry, what? The internet exploded over this, and it was only after that that Murphy backed down. After, probably a bunch of his donors called him like, dude, WTF, okay? So Murphy then tweets a clarification, says, okay, Twitter, I can't believe I need to clarify this, but obviously Trump's bungled mismanagement of the war is not awesome. As I have said a million times here, it is a disaster, and he should end the war immediately. My tweet was something called sarcasm. First, sarcasm requires some level of intelligence that Murphy does not possess. But just going off of the history of Chris Murphy, who in 2022 wanted to remove Iran's Revolutionary Guard that for 50 years has provided material support to terrorists that are killing Americans, he was willing to remove them from the terrorist watch list to get some stupid deal that Iran would probably adhere to about as well as they are to the ceasefire right now.
Would you take the Iran's Revolutionary Guard off the terror list in order to get a deal?
Yes.
That was an enthusiastic yes. So excuse me for believing your initial statement over your clarification statement. I'm with Rick Scott here, who said he should be stripped of his assignment to the Foreign Relations Committee now. Yeah, I mean, I think he should have been stripped after trashing America when he went to Spain. At a minimum, he should be expelled from the Senate and charged with treason, I think. I can almost guarantee that's what Democrats would probably do to a Republican. Remember what they did to Mike Flynn. We talked about it the other night. They illegally made up an investigation based on an illegally obtained wiretap, and then the then Vice President of the United States, Joe Biden, wanted him charged with the Logan Act, which charged approximately 0 people ever, for a discussion on a hypothetical policy that hadn't happened yet on sanctions and what might happen in the incoming administration that Mike Flynn was the national security advisor for. But Republicans in the Senate will probably do nothing because they're a bunch of geriatric status quo bumps on a log. Look, Murphy said it, and he probably meant it because he has this reflexive reaction to oppose anything Trump does. It's like when you hit somebody in the knee, it just happens, it kicks.
He loves the Constitution. He fights for what's right. He hates the bad guys. He's a freedom warrior. He's your freedom warrior. Watch Carl Higbie every weekday on Newsmax.